Over the years, many have wondered why the city has two different water systems, especially since one has traditionally had higher rates than the other. While I could go into detail on the history of this, it's more important at this point to look forward to what we are going to do to reconcile these two systems, whether it's, as Councilman Hickman wants to, by privatizing the whole system, or by making it wholly public. It may come as a shock to many of you, but I believe in making it wholly public. You see, in American history, there are two essential functions of government. One, to protect the rights of its people and to mitigate those rights when they come into conflict. And two, to operate where a monopoly will inevitably form. In keeping with these traditional roles, you see that there are few areas left where true monopolies, exist. For example, the energy sector was a monopoly for decades, until the concept of deregulation came about. Energy deregulation is a system used in many states where energy production is separated from energy provision, meaning that you may buy your energy from any number of brokers who buy the energy from energy producers, passing the bulk savings and the purchasing power to the consumer and forcing competition to drive down total rates. While California still mainly has a state-sponsored monopoly on energy, production, and provision with PG&E, there's also hope for breaking the energy production monopoly with home solar installation. The city of Dixon has two water systems operating simultaneously. In the newer parts of town, we have a quote-unquote private system, which means that there is a state-sponsored monopoly. On the other half, the city owns the water system, which historically has lower rates. Up until a few years ago, the city of Dixon contracted with Solano Irrigation District to take care of the maintenance of the water system. Unfortunately, there were many issues with the outside management and quality control standards. These quality control standards were systematically unmet. Since then, the city eliminated the SID contract and has had a government contractor come in to care for the system. The reason Councilman Hickman is so determined to sell the city's half of the water system is because the poor maintenance conducted by previous management has left the city-owned system in need of significant upgrades and rebuilds. Selling the system off, however, doesn't solve the problem for ratepayers because they still have to foot the cost of the upgrades. Only now, it will be with a semi-private monopoly, a monopoly that also needs to turn a profit quickly. The fixes and rebuilds that need to occur will be slowed because a monopoly knows that there is no need to move quickly if they control or own the system in perpetuity. We need to remember that there is no system yet that allows for choice in who you receive your tap water from. And until someone comes up with that genius idea, water service will be a monopoly. Therefore, it's incumbent on the government to provide this service in the most efficient way possible without a profit motive. Opponents will point out that the Public Utilities Commission regulates state-sponsored monopolies. However, you've probably never been to a PUC meeting, and I have seldom heard of the PUC denying a rate increase. If you think you don't have any pull with the government, try getting some pull with a private monopoly. Quote-unquote selling the turkey, as Councilman Hickman puts it, would be to ignore one of the two essential functions of government. Taking on this system will take time and effort and dollars, but it will be to the benefit of the ratepayers in the long run, especially as this is the only way to have accountability for maintenance costs and consumer rates. Thank you. I'm Dixon City Councilman Devon Minnema, signing off from District 4.